Hello, I am coming live. I just had a call from a unknown number, and whenever I have a call from someone that I don't know, I always look at the numbers in the call to see what message the angels are bringing to me, what message is coming through, what transmission wants to be shared with me. And this time, there are there's a few things that want to be shared, and it has to do with the feminine, it has to do with leadership, it has to do with our life force, the things that we're creating, and the time and dedication it takes to make these things come to fruition. So where to begin? So right now we're in the transit of leadership. So the sun is activating the 31st gate, which we call the president, in the 64 Doors project we're doing. But this is an energy of leadership. It's the voice of the leader. It says, I lead. And this can be a reluctant leader, because what happens is, without the harmonic energy of the 7, which is the alpha, to say, I can stand on this stage and say, I lead, it's a transmission that comes from the throat, right? And these people can be reluctant to share that. And what we're seeing here in the number that called me, it started the leadership of the feminine, because it was 31 and 2 together. And so what I'm sharing today is that the feminine wants to lead. The feminine is coming forward. This feminine is rising. And now that doesn't mean that the masculine is not here. That doesn't mean that the masculine doesn't have a part in it. It just means that things are shifting, balancing, and realigning. It means that the feminine is here to be the leader, to share this. And our feminine is built on our masculine. We need the foundation of the masculine. But to move forward, it doesn't mean that we need to have those masculine ways of doing, where it's a lot of pushing, a lot of hustle, a lot of forced energy. The feminine is a receiver. The feminine is here to receive and is here to lead as well. So it's here to say, I'm going to show the way. It's a way shower, right? So if the 31 is all about leading, right, and saying how you're leading, it's not this arrogant, like, listen to me because I know everything. I'm coming on here not knowing what this transmission is. All I have is a string of numbers. I have 31, 2, 58, 4, 10, and 9, and 5. And so what I'm doing is I'm weaving these together for you to bring forth this transmission that wants to come through. So the message here is that the feminine wants to lead. The feminine is ready to lead. And what it's going to take from us is for us to reclaim our vitality, reclaim our life force. Now, this vitality, this life force energy, it's not just masculine, it's not just feminine, it's united in both. The 2, the feminine, is here to say, I want to orient you with the divine. I want to orient you with the divine inside of you. I want to orient you with the divine union. There's both masculine and feminine here. And so to utilize your life force energy in the best of your ability, it's about having that balance there. But what needs to happen right now is there needs to be more of that feminine coming up, since the masculine has been so weighed so much more, right? We've been putting the masculine out way more than the feminine. And so what we're being asked to do is to lead with this feminine right now. And what does that mean? What does it mean to lead with the feminine? Now, the feminine is a receiver, is a way shower. The feminine is here to show the art of receiving, to show the art of being. Now, the masculine has this foundation that it creates, and the feminine is here to move that forward, to know what direction to take. We're also here to tap into our naturalness. I think that we've lost our way a lot by expectations of other people. We've lost our true essence of our true nature. And a lot of us are showing up inauthentically, and we don't even know we're showing up inauthentically, because we haven't had that realignment. We haven't been able to come back into our naturalness, into this feeling of I'm free to be myself. And that is, I mean, that's what we've been coming up against right now with the nodes being in gate 10 and 11. It's all about realigning with this new rhythm and realigning with your own sense of naturalness and sense of being. If you could get out in nature, if you can spend more time in nature, if you can connect to that, again, to the Schumann resonance, you will be reset. You can be reset, and you can realign your energy with that natural rhythm of Gaia. And that's what's going to also realign you with the feminine. And the feminine knows the timing. The feminine knows about divine timing. The feminine knows how to be patient as well. And that's what they're calling us to be, is if the feminine has this vision of the future of where it wants to go, it can bring it forward, right? It knows what steps to take. It can take those little steps, and it needs the masculine to come in too. The feminine can't do things all on her own. Now, even though the feminine is leading, the masculine is supporting. When they can work together, the masculine serves the feminine empowers the masculine, and so they work together. And though the feminine may be bringing things forward and coming into this new vision and leading them, it needs the masculine. And so what I'm looking at here is that we're needing to align with our own truth, with our own naturalness, and what it is that we want to bring forward individually. And what is the feminine calling for you? What is the feminine wanting to say to you? Where is she wanting to show you the way towards? Where have you been pushing in this direction, but really she's bringing you in this direction? So the feminine is here to support you in showing you which way to take, which door to take, which one to open. Now we're moving into even more turbulent times. We're going to be moving into the 11 and the 10 nodes, which can be dark, or the 11 and 12, which can be dark and deep and tough to get out of. But if you allow the feminine to guide you and show you the way, you can get out of any dark time. You just have to find your own sense of empowerment. And that is what the 10 should have taught us, is that let's come into the sense of personal empowerment, and let's learn how to be ourselves. Because when we operate from the sense of knowing who you are and moving forward from that alignment and integrity and authenticity, anything that comes to you is from inspired and aligned action, right? Because you're aligned, and so what's coming is inspired, and then we have that action moving forward. But it's taking us to be able to tap into our naturalness, to tap into that direction. And another message that I got was that it's going to take time. We have to take patience. We know that we want to build and create these amazing things, but it's just going to take time. It's going to be brick by brick by brick. You're not going to just build this house in one day. It's like, okay, what's the foundation? What needs to be put on top? Which bricks go where? And how are you building this? So it's going to take your alignment with this vision of the future, this vision of what you're creating, and taking little steps towards that. Sometimes it doesn't manifest like that. It takes you being able to put time and effort into things every single day to build that future that you'd like. And that's what's happening collectively. Things are crumbling, things are falling down, and we're being asked, what is it that you want to build? What's your vision for the future? How should we change this structure? And so we're needing to tap into our center and be like, okay, what's right for me? What's right now? Instead of handing over our responsibilities and handing over our power to other people and saying, you decide, it's okay, you decide. What do you want? What's in alignment for you? What's in integrity for you? And what are you wanting to see more of in the future? Because if something's really lighting you up and sparking you, you're the one who's going to be the agent for change. You're the one who's going to be paving the way. That's going to be trailblazing. Nobody else is going to do it except for you. Now, when you are going down and feeling those desires deep inside of you, you're going to have to ask yourself, is this something that I manifest? Is this something that I want to experience? And maybe is this something that somebody else needs to manifest? Because when we connect to the realm of ideas and possibilities, it's not always for us to create. So you have to ask yourself, how much do I identify with this? How much do I feel this burning fire inside of me to create this? Is this something you're meant to create or something you're meant to partake in? and you're just connecting into this bigger desire, this bigger urge, this bigger vision that a lot of people have, right? So I think that it's all about coming into alignment and saying, who am I and what am I here to create? How am I supposed to lead? And what does that leadership look like? Because leadership isn't something where you say, I'm the leader, everybody listen to me. That'll come off as arrogant, right? A true leader doesn't need to tell people, I'm the leader, I know where I'm going, I know what to say, follow me. No, it should be this new age of the role model. You're simply a leader because you're doing it and you're paving the way, and people are like, oh, look at where that person's going, I want to follow. I think that she or he has the right idea, let's go this way. But it takes these people to be these rebels, to be these trailblazers, to say, I'm not going to continue on the path that we've always gone on, because right now it's not working, and we're seeing that it's not working, and things are caving down, and things are caving in, and things are falling down, and it's up to us to rebuild in the way that we would like. So ask your feminine, ask her, how do I lead? What do I do? And let the masculine build that, right? But the feminine's here to ask of the masculine, serve me, help me, let's build this together. And this is all an internal thing. It's not a male and female thing. It's an internal masculine, feminine thing. So I think that it's going to take a lot of us to be able to rise the feminine within each of us and say, show me the way. Show me the way. Where are we going? Where am I going? What's your desire for me? And having so much faith and trust that you will receive it, that the masculine will serve you, and that you'll know when to take inspired action to do whatever, to build whatever, right? And it's going to take time. It's going to take patience. All great things take time. All great things take patience. Let's see what else the feminine wants us to know, to connect to. What more would you like to share? Idealism. So this is the gate of ideas. This is all about ideas. So can you connect into this realm of ideas? It's about getting out of the way that we're always thinking, that stuck in the box, right? When you're able to get outside of the box, you're able to have all these new ideas coming to you. You're not going to create anything inside of your mind or anything in the structure that has already been. We're not here to create inside of these structures. We're here to dream of a new future. We're to connect into idealism, right? And it can be far-fetched. It can be dreamy. It can be airy-fairy. It can be like utopian, right? And it's going to take realism to be able to bring it forward. Now, let the feminine dream inside of you. The masculine will know how to ground it. The masculine will know how to bring it into realism and to bring it forth on the physical plane. The feminine needs to be able to dream. The feminine needs to be able to connect into the idealism. Let her think of what's possible. She wants to. And with the transits moving into the 11th gate, right, we're going to be in the 12th and the 11th in the nodes in August 4th or something like that, around that time. And so a lot of us are going to be able to connect into this realm of ideas and possibilities and what's possible for us. When we get stuck in obscurity, the light is off for us and we don't think anything's possible. We're stuck in the shadows. Let yourself dream. Let yourself release any old ideas or limitations or beliefs that don't serve you anymore. You're going to have to reassess and reevaluate all of your beliefs. You're going to need to look at them and be like, is this serving me now? Or do I need to let this go? Is this aligned with the future that I'm wanting to create? Or do I need to let this go? It always takes a time of recalibration and realignment. Let's see what else the feminine wants to share. Okay. We've got diplomacy and initiative. Right? So we've got conflict and agitation. So when we're met with conflict, inner conflict, external conflict, it's going to take something deep down inside of us to say, I'm going to take initiative to be more diplomatic, to find peace, to align with peace. And you're going to have to rewire a lot of your beliefs. You're going to have to rewire a lot of stuff within you, because what's coming up now externally is going to be testing you. It's going to be saying, are you ready to stand up? Are you ready to be the leader? Are you ready to create your own life and reality? Or are you wanting other people to create it for you? Because right now what's coming up is conflict and agitation, right? We're wanting things to change, but is anybody willing to be that change agent? Is anybody willing to be that mover, that shaker? Is anybody willing to be the trailblazer? What does it mean to be that? How can you get into that energy? I think we're being asked to take initiative, right? To take initiative off of our dreams, to take initiative off of this world that we're wanting. This is what the feminine is asking for. She's asking for, I pulled the feminine. She's asking for us to orient with unity. She's asking us to come into unity. She's asking us to be able to see everything outside of us and within us as essentially a whole. Let me read the 2 for you. This is from the Wisdom Keeper deck. I come to bring you the gift of orientation. When you look into my eyes, allow me to remind you of the deepest truth, that we are all one. You and I may look different from each other, but deep down we are the same. Care less about what others think of you and more about how you are a natural part of the whole. Open yourself up to a path of synchronicity as you surrender into my eyes. Don't think too much. Allow the certainty within me that we are all connected in a single unity, that all things happen in the exact right timing. To reassure you that there is no way for you to be outside of the stream of life. It is simply not possible. You're continually orienting. And times are changing. So surrender and allow yourself to orient with the new stream, right? Things are changing. Things are shifting. You're always orienting. It's just how much are you trying to fight against the current, right? The feminine is the way shower. The feminine is orienting you with where we're heading. So it's almost like connect into that feminine. Allow her to show you the way, right? And it is also about uniting and orienting with your masculine. The masculine and the feminine need to be on the same page. They need to come together. What does that mean? What does that mean, inner masculine, inner feminine? Right? We all have parts of us that are masculine and feminine, and it's important for us to come into harmony with that. So what you're going to be able to look at and notice is if you're male or female or whatever you identify with, you're going to have relationships outside of you that mirror to you the turmoil, the agitation, the turbulence that's going on within you. Right? You're going to be able to use those as mirrors to say, okay, what the friction, the agitation, the stuff that's going on in my relationship right now is actually the stuff that's going on within me as well. So it is so important for us to be mindful and for us to be able to observe our relationships without getting too entrenched in them and saying, it's about me. It's about me. It's about them, whatever it is. If you observe it, you're able to see how that external relationship is kind of a mirror of the microcosm within you. So, for example, if you're more in your masculine than in your feminine, you're going to be a doer. It's going to be really hard for you to stop. It's going to be really hard for you to sit down and receive and relax. You're going to be like, well, this one more thing and that one more thing. A lot of females struggle with receiving because we have been in competition with the masculine. Oh, I need to hustle. I need to show up. I need to do. If they're going home or if they're going out and bringing home the money and working and bringing home the money, I need to make sure that I'm doing as much, if not more, at home. And when they come home, they need to see that I'm doing stuff, that I'm contributing, because what I'm doing is not bringing in money. This is how it used to be. This was the old paradigm. They go out and make the money, bring it back, and the woman stays home, raises the kids, makes sure the house is in order, make sure she looks good. All these expectations placed on the feminine, right? She couldn't just receive from the masculine. She couldn't just sit home and he comes home and she receives from him. Yes, everybody has their roles and responsibilities, but I think that there was a lot of pressure put on the feminine. And so the internal feminine's like, I need to fit this role. I need to do. I can't be to receive. I have to earn my keep here. In a world where money is power and women aren't paid for raising kids, tending a home, raising a family, whatever it is, right? You're not paid for that. And so if money equates to worth, are you worthy? Are you worthy if you're at home right? Raising the kids, it is an important job. And I mean, I can identify this because I stay at home. I raise the kids. I take care of the house. My husband goes out and works and comes back. But we're so indoctrinated and ingrained in us to be doers. Oh, I can't sit down. The dishes still need to be done. I can't sit down. I can't relax. The feminine is asking us to lead in a way that shows what it's like to be in your naturalness, in your true essence. Can you receive? Can you open up to receive? Are you allowing that for yourself? Do you know how to receive anymore? You know how to do. You've learned how to do. But it's almost like we need to go back to our roots and know how to receive. It's going to be really hard for you to be able to receive anything monetary in your business or in otherwise if you don't believe you're worthy of it. So I think that we're redefining the beliefs, right? We pulled the 11 earlier. We were talking about the 11, and that's the gate of beliefs and ideas. That's what needs to shift. The feminine needs to come back into her own power, into her own leadership, and know that it looks different than the masculine. The feminine can't fit inside the box of the masculine. The masculine has that covered. We don't need to do that. We don't need to be that. And I'm not saying that feminine means female either. Like I'm not only feminine. I'm not only the divine feminine. I have masculine within me as well, and so do you. So it's about a balance between the both. And if you're not balanced, your relationships won't be balanced, right? You're going to start getting resentful of the masculine or feminine in your life because what you're doing is you're overcompensating or undercompensating, whatever it is. So say okay, so this is not something I'm making up. This is like true for me in my life. So I'm a doer. And if my husband goes and works in the military and he makes the money and brings it home, and I raise the kids and I have my business and I take care of the kids, I put food, I make the food, I clean the house, I do all the things that need to happen here, right? And when he comes home and he's ready to relax, I feel like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure that he sees that I'm doing. I need to make sure that he knows that I'm doing things here. And I put so much pressure and stress on myself that I'm doing so much. And I don't allow myself to relax. And so in turn, he allows me to carry all these things, right? And then I see him relaxing, and I'm like, this isn't balanced. Where's my relaxed time? But I won't give it to myself. But I'm expecting him to relieve me of it. And when he doesn't want to relieve me of it because he's tired, because he's exhausted, right? Then I'm like, well, I guess this is all, I just have to do it myself, right? And then you get resentful of that person because they get to relax and you don't. They get to turn off and you don't. And this is, the number, so the reason that I went live, for those of you that hopped on later, is because this number called me. And anytime a number calls me, a random number, I always look at the numbers individually and be like, okay, what's this message? What's this transmission? I don't ever open up unknown numbers or spam or anything like that. So the number that called me was 31, leadership, 2, feminine, 58, life force energy, vitality, 4, intolerance, forgiveness, 10, naturalness, being, and 9, which is determination, and 5, which is patience. So what I do when these numbers call me, I weave them together. So 31, the leadership of the feminine, right? The feminine wants to lead. The feminine has a message for us. The feminine is saying, I want to rise. I want to lead. I want to come into this leadership position. Let the feminine come into leadership. The 58 is talking about vitality, life force energy, right? It's all about using your life force energy correctly. So the feminine has her own way of doing and being. We have the 10 in here, so this is all about being. The 4 is about forgiveness or intolerance. So when you don't understand the role of the feminine, when you don't understand how the feminine operates, how the masculine operates, you might be hyper masculine, hyper feminine. You might be in one section more than another. But when you understand how each of these work to serve each other, you come into this forgiveness of, I'm sorry that I ever treated you this way. Feminine, masculine inside of me. I'm sorry that happened. I forgive myself. I forgive my not knowing. And now that I understand, I'm able to come into alignment and union with my feminine and masculine. And my life force energy can be that much more I'm vibrant, and I can tap into my vitality, right? The 58 is all about life force energy. And what happens when it's not in alignment, it feels like a suck. You can literally feel anyone in your field that wants of you. And it's a pull. And you're constantly feeling like they want my energy. They want my life force. When you're in balance, there's an equal amount of giving and receiving. I have the 58 in my Neptune. And so what I feel when I am too much in my doing, too much in that hyper masculine, where it's like I'm forcing my feminine to be in my masculine, and I'm saying, you guys are both showing up and you're doing. There's no receiving. There's none of that. There's no being. You have so much on your to-do list. You need to do all these things, right? And so when you're hyper in your masculine and saying, I have to do, there's no time to receive. And so what happens is whenever somebody comes into your field that says, hey, I need help with this, or here's an extra thing on your list, you get super overwhelmed because you already feel like you have so much on your list, because you're trying to be worthy, because you're trying to be equal. If money is the indication of value, worth, and power, right? If you're not getting any money and you have placed money as the root of power and vitality, then you're going to be overdoing yourself, right? Expecting maybe one time the flow will come in. But if you don't feel equal yourself, if you feel like I need to keep being and doing, that flow of money is not going to come in, because you're not going to slow down enough for it to come to you. You don't trust that it's going to come. The feminine trusts. It accepts everything. It rejects nothing. It trusts. It's open. It's open to receive. It knows where it wants to go. It can open to receive. What happens when you're hyper and masculine? You don't know the art of surrender. You don't know the art of opening, softening, receiving. And so that flow of energy, that flow of money, that flow of whatever it is that you're needing to validate you and say, oh, I'm worthy now, that can't come to you because you have no idea how to open. You have no idea how to soften and surrender. And then more people come and say, I need this of you. I need that of you. And your vitality is just sucked dry because you haven't allowed yourself to fill. So in understanding the role of your masculine, the role of your feminine, you're able to be balanced. And your vitality and life force is abundant and magnetic. And it's, you know, the balance between doing and being. And it's about resetting and realigning with your naturalness. So the last numbers are 10, 9, and 5. So resetting and realigning with your naturalness. How can that just flow out of you? I feel like all of us just need this reset, this surrender. If COVID hasn't done that for you now, if you haven't taken the time to just be and relax and recharge and reevaluate and realign, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to look at yourself and be like, am I being authentic? Is this who I am? Could I benefit and learn from this receiving, this idea of receiving and opening and softening and accepting and being open to help? Do you need help? Are you tired of doing? Are you exhausted? The feminine can align you with that. She wants to lead. She wants to show you the way. The feminine's calling, and the feminine saying, let me show you how to receive. Let me show you that's going to be okay. Let me show you how things can be. And yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. You're going to have to keep realigning with this idea of, okay, I need to receive. Let me receive. Let me open. And it's not like you can't make anything happen. It's not a force of anything. When you can come into deep relaxation and opening in your body, and you'll feel it. That's when you become magnetic. That's when you're allowed to receive. When you keep going until it's time to go to sleep, there's no chance, there's no time for anything to come in to give to you, for you to feel like, okay, now it's my turn. Is it ever going to be your turn? Will you allow it to be your turn? Have patience with yourself. Forgive yourself. It's an unlearning process. It's a recalibration and a realignment. So this morning when I woke up at 3 a.m, my computer randomly popped up. I have so many synchronicities and crazy things that just happen randomly where they're like signs like smack in my face. I had this recording that I did. It's called Meet Your Masculine and Feminine. And I listened to it this morning, and I saw my masculine, I saw my feminine, and it was interesting because they showed up as like these Greek god and goddesses. It was like they were the king and queen of like Athens or something like that, and they cared so much about their community. They cared so much about their land and about their people. And the feminine was showing me that she was actually the leader, and she was sitting in this throne, and people were bringing her things. People were bringing her treasures, and she was allocating them, saying, here, this goes here, and that goes there, and give this to these people, and bring this food to these people. It's like she was able to allocate all the funds. She had this vision for how she wanted to nurture her community, and people would bring her the resources, right? The 12 and the 4, or the 2 and the 14 come together. The 14 empowers the feminine by bringing the resources. So they brought the resources to her, and this is my internal feminine. And the masculine was there to serve her as well. And I remember him kneeling in front of her, like he was not equal to her, but she took his hand and sat him next to her, and they served together. And he helped defend the feminine. So masculine and feminine deserve to be equal partners together. Not one ruling over the other, not one's better than the other. They each have very separate roles. Their doing and being is different, but you need both. The yin and the yang are equally as important, and they come together to make this unity, to make this wholeness. So I think it's going to take us all recalibrating and realigning with this balance. Can we come back into balance and harmony within these two parts of ourselves? Do you even know if they're balanced or imbalanced? If you're watching this right now, odds are you could use a recalibration. Something inside of you is calling you. Your feminine most likely is calling you to take inventory, to look and be mindful and say, okay, here's where we need recalibration. Here's where we need realignment. This wants to be expressed right now, or this wants to receive, this wants to lean back, right? What is your feminine calling you to do or be? It's not always an action. Sometimes it's like, put down everything, chill out, sit back, allow your cup to be filled. Are you parched? Do you need some water? Do you need a recharge? So this is kind of what the feminine is calling us for. She's calling on the phone for all of us and saying, hi, I'm here. I would like to help you come back into alignment with the art of receiving and the art of being. I'm going to post in the comments. I'm working on this project called the 64 Doors, and door 2 happens to be the feminine. And so I want you guys to go and check out that, to kind of connect into your own way shower, your own feminine, and see what pops out on that door. What pops out in this archetype? What is this archetype trying to tell you? Can you investigate this archetype and see, okay, this is where I resonate. This is what's standing out to me. Because maybe that's the message of the feminine for you. If you're really connected to your higher self, your inner feminine, whatever, and you can just ask and hear the answer, amazing. Make time for that. If you need some more signs, here's your sign. Here's door 2. Take initiative, open that door, and see what the feminine has for you there. I guarantee you'll find something there for you. This is a free resource. It's not paid. It's free. You can go in there. You can explore. You can attune yourself to the feminine. I think that's what the feminine wants us to do, is come into this attunement to her. Be like, what is it to be the feminine? So I'm gonna take some time myself to really feel into how can I be the feminine? How can I allow her to come out in her naturalness? What does that look like? How does she move? What does she say? What does she feel like? What's important to her? And if you can take time to do that as well, I think it would be very beneficial. This is what she's trying to communicate to us right now. And have patience. It's going to take time. If you're very used to doing and hustling and not making time or room or space for yourself, make time. It's okay to be selfish right now. It's not selfish to fill your cup. I feel like a lot of us need it right now. And Lionsgate portal just opened up. You get to recalibrate. You get to realign with this trajectory. Look back at where you've been and say, okay, let's look at this whole last 2020. What went on? What was my biggest challenge? What was my greatest lesson? What am I bringing forward for the rest of the year? What am I wanting to put down? What am I wanting to leave with the other half of 2020? Because you're walking through a door. That door is open. It's ready for you to walk through. Lionsgate is where the Earth and Sirius are kind of in alignment. So we're getting this stream of energy flowing, these activations. And this portal is like it's the Galactic New Year. Woohoo! Happy New Year! What is your resolution? If your resolution is to come more into your feminine, to let your feminine rise and lead, let's all discover what that looks like. What does it look like to let the feminine lead? What do I need to leave behind to come into this equilibrium, this harmony with my masculine and feminine? Okay? So I'll leave you with that. And I'm so glad that you joined me. And thank you for your comments. I'll get to them individually after this live stream. But thank you so much. And the feminine thanks you as well. Thank you for listening. And have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.